Hello everyone, this is Remlace from 40k Theories, and welcome to the November 2018 edition of the Patreon Q&A sessions. As always, if you want your questions answered, then click the link in the video description below and help support the channel by becoming a patron. Now let's jump into these questions. Ghost Reaper asks, what are the true origins of the talismans and the Dawnblade on Arthas Moloch? I'm not going to answer that here because I do plan on doing this as a video in future. Alberic asks, which Imperial Guard regiments and Eldar craft worlds are your favourite? For Guard regiments, it would be a toss-up between the Armageddon Steel Legion and the Catachan Jungle Fighters. As for craft worlds, I have some nostalgia for Simhan, but these days I'd probably go more towards Eandon. Oren Clark asks, is there anything within the Imperium akin to a remote-controlled unmanned aerial vehicle? I'm pretty sure there is, but I don't know any examples off the top of my head. But if there is anything like that, it would probably be piloted by servitors or something. Tyder Rossett asks, will you ever promote Narina from Acolyte to Interrogator? At some point I will, yes. Voice of the Emperor asks, were you ever a fan of Total Biscuit? I didn't watch most of his WTF videos, but I was a massive fan of his Hearthstone videos. I loved it when he did those gimmick deck videos. Those were brilliant. Brandon A asks, since the War of the Beast series has ended and the Horus Heresy is close to being complete, do you think that the War of the False Primarch would be the next big series? If not, what would you like? I don't think so. I think they'll just ignore it and leave it as a footnote in history. But as for what I would want, I would love a mini-series based on the Reign of Blood. You know, the rise of Gog Vandai and the origins of the Sisters of Battle. I think that could be a really good series. Kyle C. Anderson asks, the Last Chancellors have been off the GW radar for some time now. Do you think they will ever reappear in lore or a future codex of the Imperial Guard? I think they will, considering there was the print on demand for the Last Chancellors novels a little while ago. To be honest, I'm surprised they didn't bring them back for Kill Team, more than anything. But yes, I think they will bring them back at some point. Kanji Gold asks, how many cyclonic torpedoes would be needed to match the power of a single Vulcan hug? 14.7. Zero Hits asks, have the Tau ever attempted to send a diplomatic envoy to Terra? And if not, do you have any thoughts on how such an expedition might turn out? I don't think they have, no, and if they tried, I doubt they'll be able to get onto Terra itself, considering what happened when the Orcs got to Terra. Toby asks, what is your favourite pattern of lasgun? What's it called? The Akatran, I think it is. Not the standard Akatran, but the Akatran E? The one that's got the built-in underslung grenade launcher. That one. Red Mage asks, if you could de-retcon a single piece of retconned 40k lore, what would you bring back, and why? Necron Pariahs. Those were awesome. I want them back. I know they technically haven't been specifically retconned, they've just been omitted. I hate the whole retcon by omission thing. I think that's incredibly lazy. But given the fact that Necrons from 5th edition on got completely retconned, yeah, I want Necron Pariahs back, please. Arol asks, how would the Great Crusade and the Great Heresy pan out if the Astartes legions were constructed akin to Codex chapters? I.e. no legions but singular chapters in close supervision with their Primarch. So I'm assuming you mean that each legion/chapter was only 1,000 Marines. As far as the Great Crusade is concerned, I think 20 Space Marine chapters would have done fuck all in comparison to 20 legions, to be blunt with you. Horus Heresy, it would not have anywhere near the effects galactically if it was just 20 chapters involved, or 18 chapters rather. It would have been on a much smaller scale, but considering that the Custodes was, I would assume, Legion size, the Custodians would just wipe them out single-handedly, I would assume. Brent Feast asks, how much is currently known about Chaos-worshipping Eldari, ignoring CS Goto? I know they were mentioned in the 2nd edition Eldar Codex, saying that there is none more damned than an Eldar champion of Slaanesh. It's also mentioned that in the novel Farseer, the Eldari are immune to demonic possession of sorts. When I say immune, I mean that if a demon tried to possess an Eldari, the Eldari would simply die. How implausible is it for a renegade chapter to join the greater good? I'll be doing a video on that at some point in the future. What types of things in the 40k universe might cause Orkoid spores to become parasitic, like cordyceps? Chaos. It's always going to be chaos that does shit like that. LeonBoss919 asks, after reading most of the 40k Iron Hand stories, it seems like the Mechanicus and Iron Hands are more at odds than allies. Do you think there is a chance of this leading to an internal schism between both sides? And what do you think the consequences would be of it? Wasn't there a plot point in... oh, what was it? Was it Eye of Medusa? I can't remember if that was the first or second novel of the Iron Hand series that David Gaiman did, the first book. I think that was actually a plot point in the first novel by David Gaiman, considering that on the cover you got Iron Hands and Admech kicking the crap out of each other. Admittedly, I haven't read it yet, so I can't really comment. There has been conflict between them before, because that was what caused the founding of the Sons of Medusa chapter, if I'm not mistaken. But I think there is... yeah, it's a pretty deep rabbit hole, actually. I will need to look into that myself once I've read the David Gaiman Iron Hands novels. Heather Gochioso asks, do you think that Sven Bloodhowl is still alive? Didn't he get blown up with a Blackstone fortress? I'm gonna assume no, he's dead. Why do you think Mortarion is so hell-bent on killing Guilliman and destroying Ultramar? Because Mortarion is a petulant little brat, to put it mildly. He is a petulant, arrogant little twat. Do you think Grok's hide would make good leather for ladies' handbags? I mean, if you can do it with snake or alligator skin, then sure. Are you handsome? I don't think I'm at liberty to answer this question without sounding either completely narcissistic or pessimistic, so... Narina, could you answer this question for me, please?
Well, if dino skulls are your thing, then yeah, sure. But in all seriousness, well, he has a pair of lovely eyes.
And finally, Wolf of England asks, which of the original Loyalist legions have not either had a small contingent or a successor chapter fall to chaos? I don't think any have, really, because with the Space Wolves, obviously you got Svein Wulfbad and his company. Ultramarines, you got a crap ton. Raven Guard, I know there's some Raven Guards that joined the Red Corsairs. White Scars, half the Legion turned against the Emperor during the Heresy. Dark Angels, the Fallen, obviously. Blood Angels, I think there is at least one Blood Angel that has. So, basically, in summary, none of them. Everyone's had someone go chaotic at some point, I feel. So that concludes this edition of the Patreon Q&A sessions. As before, if you want your questions answered, click the link in the video description below and help support the channel by becoming a patron. Until next time, this has been Remlace from 40k Theories, and we'll see you again soon. Bye bye.